cacao. Hold up.
Morning and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little bit. Your girl has been going through life, alright? But we're back today. And I'm going to be trying some of those one-size products. I did not get the setting spray, but I did get the lip liner, the setting powder, as well as the blurring primer as well. And I've been using it for a couple days. And I'm going to tell y'all what I like about it, what I don't like about it. But let's go ahead and get started. Boo Thang has been deployed or whatever. He showed up at my house last night. Just out the blue. He has to go back to training or whatever today, so he just left, but he showed up yesterday evening and I was on my way to go, you know, hang out with some friends and then couldn't go out with them. I was like, oh, I never wanted to be one of those girls that cancel their plans because their man is around or whatever, but unfortunately, like, he was leaving the next day and I was like, listen, you gotta stop just popping up at my house like this because you don't know what I have going on over here, you know. You just don't know what I have going on. Like, not really man related. Like, there wouldn't be a man over here. But I could totally be chilling around here with my Queen Latifah braids and my wig off. Which was what was going on yesterday. It was like, yes, we're comfortable enough for him to see me that way. But it was like, child, don't just be popping up at my house. And re-upped on some Too Faced concealer. I actually got the shade Chestnut. Because chai, I love chai. But it is a little bit too what do you call that, golden for me. Hold on, let me get this, hang on, let me see. And Chestnut is supposed to be golden, but it's supposed to have a neutral undertone as well. We gonna see because it looks pretty golden to me. I don't know, I told y'all, I think I told y'all, yeah, I might have told y'all, I don't know, but I have been really feeling neutrals on me lately. More neutral, because I feel like if you go too yellow, you look a little bit too, you know, orange or just very cartoonish. So I be trying to avoid it at all costs. I'm using this palette. This is the Coffee Shop palette by Juvia's. But I know I said we was gonna do updates of discussing Love After Lockup. Child, that show has become a little bit too ghetto, even for me, and I love me a little ghetto TV, but it's just become a little bit too ghetto. Like, Ayana, like, just not doing right by her children. When she went to go meet the man's family, now keep in mind, she had already met his family, but she met them under the guise, or under the time that her best friend was with them. So she kind of came along as, you know, hey, I'm inviting my friend to the cookout, that's my best friend or whatever, but me and him is together. So last time you met them, you were the best friend of his girlfriend. There we go, break it on down. And then she goes and meets them, and now she's talking about, well, I'm the one that he's with now. And I just feel like, girl, I don't know, I told y'all that, like, this just seems kind of strange to me. Like, you were plotting on this man the whole entire time. To piggyback off of that, like, she brought her children. And I was like, so not only do you want to look like Boo the Fool, but you also want your kids to be out here too, right? And so the mother is like, well, so you're the one that he's gonna marry. This is gonna be his second marriage. Then she flipped out about that because she didn't know he was originally married. And then he was like, no, I was spiritually married. What the spiritually married? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't curse. But like, what is spiritually married? I don't understand. So then that whole thing takes place. I tuned out after that because I'm like, girl, this is too much. And then the other young lady, which is a pretty girl, right? She's dating a dude who's supposed to be like this little mob boss in prison or whatever. But he gives me very much sass. I get a lot of sass out of that man. I don't know. Just it could just be me, but I get a lot of sass out of him. I had an issue because the little boy was sitting on the couch. And he comes over the cameras and tells him, what did I tell you about sitting on the couch? Sir, you don't run nothing in here. You don't live here. And then after he says that, he's like, what I tell you about sitting on the couch? Now you have to do push-ups. And then the mother is in agreement, like, oh, make him do some more, make him do some more. You're weird. I'm not letting a man watch my children like that. And then number two, you can't tell my kids to do nothing. You can't tell me to do nothing and you're locked up. The show is just dumb. To do my my cut crease off camera because y'all know with these lashes, girl, it just don't be acting right. So I'm using the Rebel Honey palette. I'll hold it up here in a second, but I'm going to just start by using, it's like a auburn deep brown in there, and I'm kind of just pulling from that outer corner where that dark brown is and just kind of going in, right? Because I kind of like my colors to transition a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit. Here is the palette that I'm working out of. This is the Rebel Honey palette by Juvia's. If you guys are looking for an affordable, very good product to use, I always tell y'all to use Juvia's because that was my stuff. I have way more Juvia's palettes than I have with any other company because they are super pigmented. I really wish you could put me on the payroll, but I ain't one to be. But anyway, I know y'all probably thinking like, all right, how were you able to watch the previous seasons of Love at the Lockup if you say this one is super ratchet? Because the other ones, I think because it wasn't no kids involved, and then on top of that, like, yes, they were extremely ratchet, but it was entertainment, you know, like, and again, the children were not involved. This girl is willingly being stupid and there is no entertainment, so that's why I can't do it. But I did start watching another show on Netflix, girl, and I heard they not coming out with a season 3, so I'm pretty upset. But I even got my boyfriend on to it as well. We was watching it last night, and it's called Your Honor on Netflix. I think originally it was on Showtime. Not giving away nothing, but girl, it's a good show. And with the orange that's in the same palette, using the same brush, and just tap them on top of each other. Boom, lightly tap in or whatever. And I use a fluffy brush whenever I work with mattes or if I work with shimmers. I don't know. If I didn't have my lashes on, I'd probably be able to get this super pigmented, but because I have lashes on, it's hard. But I have found that there is such a convenience in wearing lashes that I probably will not give them up. Okay, that's just it. But yeah, Your Honor is, how do I put this? Like, how do I sum this up without giving it away? It's about a judge, a mobster, and then some kids, but like not real kids. Well, they like teenagers, yeah. But anyway, without giving it away, basically the judge's son hits the mobster's son, and okay, he offs him by accident, and then there's like a whole cover-up going on, and it gets super crazy. I can't give no more because I feel like I would definitely go into details about it. But I just finished season 1. Me and my boyfriend started season 1 over again last night because he wanted to watch it, and girl, I had to like rethink and go back and sum stuff up. Like, I am really big on like psychological things that make me think, so it's a really good show. It's it's a thriller a little bit, but it's more psychological more than anything. So if you into shows like that, check it out. Our show that we watched last night after we went and grabbed food, oh my gosh, it's such a good show. A part of me, like I said, really doesn't even want to go and watch season 2 because I feel like, for what, if they just canceled the show, why am I watching season 2? Because I'm about to be mad, I'm about to be disappointed that another season's not coming. I'm gonna go ahead and use my primer from One Size. Like I told you, I have been using this for a while and I actually like it, but I will say that I try to keep it out of like my nose and under my eye because I find that it is super matte. Like, if you want to be matte, this right here is going to take you there, but my nose and my under eye already be kind of dry from all of the products that I be putting there, so I don't put it there because I did notice a little bit of separation when I used it. So we're gonna try to avoid that today and see how far we can get. Video the other day, and it was this lady who works at Mickey D's now, and like she's a manager or whatever, and she was saying how she went from being like a 6-figure makeup artist to now working there, and she's never felt like more fulfilled and a lot of happiness because she stopped doing makeup because, you know, she just kind of lost the passion for it or whatever. So in the midst of me watching that, another young lady stitched the video. She stitches the video and she says, you know, that is witchcraft. So I'm like, here we go again, you know, and I don't really like to be involved in stuff like that anyway because, baby, listen, you ever seen a skeleton key? Be a lot going on, right? So I don't even like to get involved in stuff like that. I kind of like to just mind my business and keep it moving. But she was like, yeah, you know, that's why she don't want to do it no more, is because it's, you know, it's witchcraft. Somebody put roots on her. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but baby, everything is not root work. Everything is not that, okay? Sometimes people really just get tired of doing things. Have you guys ever heard that saying, like, listen, if you enjoy doing it, don't make it your full-time job, because you will get tired of doing it. Similar to me with makeup. Like, remember, I don't know if y'all, how many OGs is in the building, but I used to say that all the time, like, the moment that this stops being fun for me, I'm going to stop doing it, right? Because it feels as though it's a job. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I did probably all of maybe 2 people. I did their makeup, 2 people. And then I was like, oh no, this is not for me. No, I'm lying. Probably like 5. When I did like 5 people's makeup, I was like, oh no, I don't want to do this full time. I don't care how much people are being like, oh, you can make so much money doing it. No, because I have never been more stressed out, and I used to work at a call center. I have never been more stressed out than I have been working with clients. And I can completely understand her saying, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, because I don't know if y'all know, but some of y'all are very worrisome. Y'all ever heard y'all, like, y'all grandparents tell y'all that? Like, y'all are super worrisome. Like, very worrisome. And it can be a lot for people, especially if you suffer from anxiety like me. Girl, I used to have like the hardest time like getting ready. Prepping for somebody to do somebody's makeup would stress me out, and then when I actually got there and was getting ready to touch their face, it would stress me out. I would have so much anxiety, it just was not working. One time, like, snatch a brush out of my hand and proceed to, like, you know, do her makeup, simply because she felt like I wasn't going heavy-handed enough, right? And if y'all know anything, sometimes you need to build things up, especially on certain skin tones. Like, you can't just go in for the kill, right? Because it's easier for you to build than it is to kind of remove. And I was trying to explain it to her, like, baby, we gonna get there, but give me a second. Girl, she went in and she snatched the brush from me and did everything, and then gonna ask me to fix it when it didn't come out right. I was like, no ma'am. No ma'am, and you're still gonna pay me in full. I've had to chase people down for money, like, listen, I did your makeup 2 hours ago, give me my money. And that's where that mindset of I need my money up front comes from. It comes from that. And so I've had to do that. My goodness, I've had to tell people, like, listen, you can no longer be a client, because reaching out after hours and, oh, I need you to do my makeup and you need to do it immediately, very, like, just a sense of entitlement. So I can completely understand where she's coming from when she said, you know what, I don't want to do it no more, because it will literally take you there. I had one lady come in and, like, just spill her guts. Oh, like, before I could even put, like, I think I was on her brows, before I could even start to trace out the brows, first step, before I could even start to do that, she immediately goes into, my boyfriend has been cheating on me, in jail with another man, and he let me know that he's not going to stop and I can either take it or leave it. I was like, I don't even think I caught your name, ma'am. I don't even think I caught your name, right? And if y'all know anything about me, I don't know what it is about, like, my spirit or maybe just my demeanor, but I have that problem all the time. People just tell me their business. I don't ask, I don't pry. They just be like, oh, already looks like, you know, I can go ahead and tell her this, so let me go ahead and tell her. And I'm talking about that whole session. She had broke down, started crying. I had to fix the makeup. I was like, ma'am, what is going on? And she's like, yeah, I'm going out with my friend. And it just was a very dangerous, because I also was doing it out of my house. Girl, I had started working at this shop. Oh my gosh, I worked at this shop for a little bit because my full-time job had made me mad. So I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be a full-time makeup artist. It's a skill set that I can do, and people were pumping me up, and it's a lot of money that is to be made. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I started going to the shop on the weekends. When I tell you, that shop was super duper ghetto. This lady felt like she was the owner, but she was not. So basically the situation, and this is why I say baby, I've been around the block a couple times. I know a little bit about a little bit. This owner, who is of a different nationality, basically wanted to bring in black clientele. And so by doing that, she Now, verbally, this was not nothing that was done in writing. She verbally told this young lady, oh, you're going to be the manager or you're going to be part owner. Nothing was in writing, anything like that. So the lady walks around as if she's the owner. She reaches out to me. I'm looking for makeup artists and I want you to come through to the shop and do da 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 da. And we're going to go to schools and we're going to do their makeup and all this other stuff. And oh my goodness, I actually did a run with her at like 5 in the morning. I think I got paid maybe $30 to do like 2 glams in the morning, 5 in the morning, for like a quinceañera or whatever. So I was like, okay, whatever. But just very hood, very ghetto, right? And then the final straw, it was just too far out the way for me. And like I said, I was already struggling. So I was like, oh, I'm not gonna keep going out here. So I told her, I was like, hey, this isn't gonna work. And she was just very ghetto. I don't do, like, I love ghetto, but when it comes to business, everything not in writing, you can't give me my contract, I can't do ghetto. One size powder, I got the pink shade, which I think is supposed to cool and neutralize, which I told y'all I'm really into like cooler tones now, so that's why I got that one. But they have several different ones. I really like this powder because I love the fact that it doesn't turn makeup yellow. Again, I'm trying to get away from the yellowness because I feel like you kind of come out looking like Homer Simpson sometimes. Don't want that, right? So hold on, let me find my sponge. I told the lady a couple weeks ago, or a couple weeks ahead of time, I said, hey, you know, I don't think that this is going to work out. I appreciate the opportunity, but I'm not going to be able to work here full time. Discernment is a powerful thing, baby, and you need to listen to it. You need to learn and decipher what's for you is for you and what's not, it ain't, right? Don't try to force things or whatever. So I told her that maybe a week or two prior to me getting this phone call. Now, there was another young lady in the shop or whatever that was doing business with them or whatever. Again, if I can't get business in writing, baby, I don't do verbal or nothing, especially when it comes to money. I don't do verbal of nothing. I want everything in writing. I want cash in my hand. That's just how I do business, right? So you telling me, oh, you're the owner, da da da, like that don't do nothing for me until you actually transfer ownership over to me, right? But there was another young lady, I can't remember if she was like selling clothes or something. It was me, I was a makeup artist. There was another eyelash tech. There was another braider. It was a lot going on in this salon. And so I didn't know the young lady, but y'all know, like I'm friendly, you know, when need to be. I'm friendly with people. And so I had spoken to her a couple times, but that's it. I didn't know the girl. And so she called me one day because she was like, oh, that's how we had got in. Yeah, okay. So she was like, well, I style for, you know, people, and then eventually they may need a makeup artist, so if you don't mind, like, can I take your information, and then one day, you know, I'll reach out to you and we'll work together and we'll just split the proceeds down the middle. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And so I hadn't heard anything, but like I said, a week or two after I left, that's when I got this phone call. So the lady calls me and she's like, hey, I just wanted to give you a heads up that me and this is the so-called owner. Me and the so-called owner got into it and the actual owner didn't do anything. And in my mind, I thought she was calling to discuss like, oh, I got a bridesmaid this weekend or something like that. Would love for you to come and do the makeup. That's the only reason why I answered the phone. So when she got to talking about that, I said, well, let me stop you right there. So I don't get off into the drama. That has nothing to do with me. I no longer work for that shop. What y'all got going on is what y'all got going on. And she's like, well, she called me a bitch. And, you know, well, I can't curse, but, you know, she called me the B word and all this other stuff. And I'm like, what that got to do with me? That's what I'm thinking on the other side of the phone. Because, again, I just told you I don't work there. That don't have nothing to do with me. I don't know that young lady. Like, what y'all have going on is what y'all got going on. She was like, well, I was just calling you to tell you that way maybe you could stop doing business with her as well. I said, ma'am, I'm gonna tell you one more time, that don't have nothing to do with me. I said, I wish you all the best. I no longer work there, and I don't have anything to do with what they have going on, but I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hung up, and when I tell you I blocked the so-called owner, I blocked the young lady that called, and then I also blocked the actual owner. I don't want to have nothing to do with whatever this is y'all got going on. I been knew that the business was shady, because she was saying something about they had a contract and the lady didn't want to honor the contract. I been knew that the business deals was shady. And now that I think about it, I don't even think that I got paid for the days that I was there. Only the clientele that I brought in. No, thank you. I'm out. But thank you so much for the time and the opportunity. I'm about to here. I'm trying to think about like who introduced me to that girl, and I think it was another girl on Instagram. this is when I was talking to people on Instagram. Like, I was actually checking my messages and stuff. Now I do not, and I think it's because of that reason. But anyway, that young lady had reached out to me, and this might have been her way of getting back at me. Maybe she knew it was a scheme that Todd set up. Okay, but she had reached out to me, and she was like, "Do you want to collab?" And I have never been the type to collab. I don't care. Nobody has ever told y'all they've collabed with me. Never. Outside of like a business, but like regular influencers, and it has nothing to do with nothing. I just personally don't like to collab. But this is when probably like 2018, 2019, when that collab and let's get together and you get exposure to my followers and I get exposure to your followers, that thing really took off. And then at that time, I think my following was growing. You know, people were really reaching out, and I was just like, nah, like I'm gonna do it my way, because ain't nobody never gonna say, oh well, we helped put Ari on. Nope. I didn't have time for that. And then sitting on live and talking, and I felt like the makeup community was like super messy. I never got off into that. They've always been messy, and I don't do mess. I was already like going through my own thing, plus I'm already a little unhinged as it is, so I definitely didn't want to put myself in those situations. But I think she had caught like a little attitude because I didn't want to work with her. And it's not that I didn't want to work with her, but baby, I don't. Exposure never paid my bills. Like, I never, if you not talking about money, then we don't have nothing to talk about. Back in my orange bag with my blush, y'all know I had kind of got out of it for a little bit. I don't know, but then let me just go ahead and finish up this story, girl, and then we gonna get out of here. But I remember seeing that lady on TikTok, like maybe a few years ago. I seen her on TikTok, and then she was like, well, I'm running a school for girls. We would fly you out to Miami, you know, a little modeling agency or something like that. I said, girl, have y'all ever seen the people that got like 15,000 businesses and none of them are very successful? Not saying that one's not successful, but I'm just saying, like, every time I turn around, you're into another business. Like, find your passion and kind of hone in on that, because this don't make no sense. Like, one day you're a barber, the next day you're a hairstylist, the next day you're a makeup artist, the next day you're, you know, a modeling instructor. And I understand that most people have like different talents, right? I get it, but like, girl, can you master one thing first successfully before you move on to the next? I don't know. That was just my take on it. I was like, girl, she probably out there trafficking. I don't know. I hope not. But thank God for discernment, and that I was able to get out of that situation. Okay, so I blended out my under eye. Now I'm gonna go in and just spray my face with my Morphe spray. Y'all, I've been in love with this lip liner, so I cannot wait to show y'all it. So hang on, let me get that together, and then we're gonna finish up and be done. If you guys have made it here, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe. Okay, so let's get into it. So this is the coin collector by One Size. I actually did not want to try any of them, but happened to be scrolling, because y'all know I'm always in the market for brown lip liner. And baby, this is a brown, like a true brown, not a brown black, but a true brown, and it shows up on me. Oh my gosh, I was sold. Look at that. It just, oh. And I ain't have to layer it with nothing, because it is so hard to find browns that are truly brown and that show up on me. So the fact that I was able to find this, baby, 100% sold. So coin collector, and y'all know sometimes when we get on the bandwagon, they stop making it. I don't know if Patrick is gonna be like that, but y'all might want to stock up on this. Hell, I'm about to stock up on it. Do y'all see how, girl, she's brown? All right, y'all know once I get in my bag of finding products that just work for me, I don't deviate from them. So this is the Juvia's Place. I think this was in the shade Cookie Butter. Let me see. Yep, Cookie Butter. I use this as like my transition color in between the brown and then like the nude pink that I'm gonna put right there in the middle. But y'all know, once I find something I like, girl, you can hang it up. It's never going to be anything different. And you can go ahead and skip this part if you want to, because literally it's the same. And then I'm going to add creme de cacao. Child, I don't know how to pronounce that. Right here in the middle. Alright guys, so here we are. This is the finished look. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. So before we get off into the makeup, I did want to tell you guys about this hair because sometimes I get questions about my hair. I will not be recommending this one at all, and it's not because I'm gatekeeping, it's because I'm trying to protect y'all and save y'all some money. So I did have an Amazon gift card and I bought this hair. Now I did say, let me just say this, in the comments people were commenting that it was not big head friendly. I felt like I had a small head, so I was like, oh, that doesn't apply to me, I'll go ahead and order it. Now whereas it is good hair and it does blend correctly, it is not big head friendly at all. I have had to cut the lace like so much that I feel like if the wind blows, you're going to be able to see everything. I'm going to be completely exposed. So although I only paid $50 for it because of the Amazon gift card, I don't recommend you guys going out here and buying it unless you just want to cut your lace up. All right, I don't know how long the lace lasts when it's cut, but the cap is so freaking small. Okay, so that's the only reason. I'm not trying to gatekeep, I'm just trying to save y'all. I'm trying to save y'all the heartache and the trouble. Okay, but anyway, let's go ahead and move on into the product. So the first one, as y'all can see, that coin collector lip liner has it's a favorite for me because I think being a brown skinned woman, a dark skinned woman, whatever you want to call it, it has been so hard for me to find lip liners that are not black or super deep brown black. Finding a lip liner that is just my skin tone has been so hard, and so I think he really nailed the mark by creating something that's for dark skinned women. I absolutely love it. I will be back to get more because it is just so hard to find pencils for us. Okay, so A++ on that lip liner. That is definitely going to be a staple for me. I'm going to use that all the time because y'all know I love me a good nude lip. I don't care what you say. Okay, I'm never changing that. Y'all know I'm never changing that. Anyway, on to the setting powder. The setting powder. So here is my thoughts on the setting powder, right? Because yesterday when I was at work, I did have some separation under my eye. Now I felt like that was a issue of mine because my nose and my under eye is extremely dry. So me putting a matting product on top of that probably caused me to just dry all the way out. Okay, so I'm not blaming that on one side. It's not them, that was me. That was a user error because as you guys can see today, it looks 10 times better. Now I am oily. I'm extremely oily. Okay, the fact that I'm not oily right now in this moment, especially over here, tells me everything that I need to know. Now I cannot pinpoint whether it is the primer or whether it is the setting spray that is making me non-oily like this. Okay, you got to use your own discretion. I don't know. I use them together. I have not used them separately yet, so I don't know which one it is, but I think it's a combination of both. I believe that the setting powders are made for oily skin. I think it says oil control, shine control. So I'm in love with those. I think it is super amazing. What I really do like about that pink powder is oftentimes for me, I feel that because I do use setting powders that are a little bit more orange or a little bit more yellow, you know, stuff like that, I come out looking extremely yellow because then my concealer has a yellow undertone and it's not neutral. So the fact that the pink one is supposed to cool and neutralize, girl, I feel like it does its job. Not to the point where I'm chalky or I'm white or I'm pasty, but to the point that it doesn't look like a Simpsons character, you know? Like I look good, you know? I have my highlight, but it's not too much. It's not too overpowering. I'm here for it. So those two products definitely would recommend. I have been using them every day. Y'all know I use my stuff every day before I come and I recommend it to you guys, but those, love that. But number one on the list for sure has to be that coin collector. And as you guys know, I did go and purchase the Chestnut from Too Faced. I love their concealers. I love the chai color, but I also love the Too Faced. Now I will tell you that as reading is fundamental, you gotta read, girl. And when I was reading like their description or whatever, it did say that their concealer is super duper coverage, and so that makes sense. You only need just a droplet to get the coverage that you need. You don't have to build it up. Now if you guys notice, I did use the Too Faced just right here in this little triangle area, and then on the outer portion I used the Lip Bar. Lip Bar is one of my favorite concealers, but I don't feel like for me it gives me enough coverage, so that's why I doubled up on them. But the outcome is absolutely amazing. So yeah, this is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You know, I'm actually on my way to go see Bad Boys, but I love you guys and I will see you guys next time.